It's a great pleasure to be able to interview Tim Batchelor, who's a thoracic surgeon from Bristol in the UK. Tim, excellent talks. Can you just tell me what you personally have been able to get out of a congress of this sort?
Yeah, of course. So normally we just go to thoracic surgical conferences, so this is one of the few times you actually get to meet people from other specialties and see what they're doing. For us, that's very important. We developed the ERAS Society guidelines for thoracic surgery, and what's been interesting is how many common elements there are between the guidelines that we've written and the guidelines that exist for gynecology, for colorectal surgery. In fact, we're very open about the fact that we've plundered other people's guidelines for those generic components. What was also really nice to see was the new specialties like cardiac surgery coming on board to see what we can learn as thoracic surgeons from the new guidelines that are being developed as well. And then on top of that, we're getting a lot of interest from people not just within thoracic surgery coming up and asking us questions and how what we're doing can relate to what they're doing too.
Yeah, sure. One of the talks this morning was from Michael Scott on the emergency laparoscopy, and I just wondered whether there were any parallels between emergency thoracic surgery and emergency abdominal surgery.
There are. So it's unusual to have thoracic patients in extremis like you have in general surgery, and our emergency patients tend to be relatively stable. They've got a pneumothorax which needs fixing, so they have a chest drain in, but pleural sepsis is a problem, so empyema. There's a nice big study from the States has just come out which shows that for every day you wait for your empyema surgery, your mortality increases. And so there's an opportunity there to incorporate thoracic patients with empyema awaiting surgery into an ERAS pathway. So maybe that's the next field of exploration. Yeah.
And I know one of the kind of concepts of ERAS has been from the start, from abdominal surgery, the absence of abdominal drains. Am I right in thinking that thoracic drains are here to stay for the time being?
Not necessarily. So after major lung resection, so a lobectomy, then really you do need a chest drain, and the drain's there not for blood and fluid, which of course we measure, but is mainly for air. So the lung is a bag of air and it leaks air after surgery in a number of people. But as soon as the air has stopped, you can take it out. And people worry about the amount of fluid and pleural effusion build-up, but the pleural space is very efficient at managing pleural fluid. There is some work being done with the more minor lung surgery. Do you actually need a chest drain afterwards? So if you're taking a small nodule off the edge of the lung or doing a lung biopsy, can you just do an underwater test in theatre and then not put a drain in at all? And there's emerging evidence now that you can do that and do it in a safe way. And as the most pain we see, certainly after minimally invasive surgery, is drain pain, then maybe that's the next big win.
Okay, and final question, if we're to roll the clock forward maybe 3 or even 5 years, what do you think will be the kind of key changes in thoracic surgery?
I think if we look at the different phases, I think we are being pushed to operate on more patients or try. A lot of our patients are unfit and so just won't come for surgery. They'll go for radiotherapy or best supportive care. So prehabilitation and so we've increased the pool of patients eligible to have an operation. So that's preoperative. Perioperative, then the advances in terms of regional anaesthesia management, getting rid of epidurals altogether, maybe looking at long-acting bupivacaine preparations, and then the robot is, what does the robot have to offer at the moment? Not very much, but apart from maybe a greater penetration of the minimally invasive market. And post-op, it's all about mobilisation, mobilisation, and that's a hurdle to get over.
Okay, right, Tim, thank you ever so much.
That's all right.